So my production company is Successful Tour Production. I just started. I really like this year will make a year. So I finally finished my first project. It's out now. And I have a lot of things that I do, you guys, but right now we're just gonna focus on the production side.
Then I'll go. My name's Kiana Summers. I'm originally from Clewiston, Florida, but I relocated twice over the years to Orlando, Florida, now Atlanta. I'm a former model, actually. I do still model, but I am a brand director and project manager. And I do a lot of things as well, but my whole mission, honestly, is teaching, models and creative directors pretty much the standard of who you are is more than just what you do.
Miss Davis, Nicole.
Myself. I'm Nicole Butler Vegas. I've been in showbiz now for 5 years, and I'm working on my fourth feature film called Lost Media. Our second feature film, their horror comedy, is Skate to Hell. It's getting released March 3rd. It's coming up. We're in post, almost ready for distribution. It's like very small, done with post production, which is very tedious, and that is Desert Fiends 2. I'm going to be in Orlando, Florida at the end of this month for MegaCon. I need to live there. That's why I was like, she's like, Orlando. I'm like, trying to get there, but I am like Vegas trapped. So this is where I am right now. I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm hoping that I can make connections for other people. I don't see your link if you can put it for the YouTube, because if it is live, I could share it now on my platforms right now so people can get involved and connect that way.
Okay.
And I'm Garlina Davis, and I actually grew up on the West Coast. To shout out to Nicole in Las Vegas, that's where I grew up. And then I went to North Carolina for a job, and I love North Carolina, but I'm back here now. I was I was in Raleigh. I loved it because it was green because I grew up in the high desert, so it was always, desert like. Back here now, I have a new grandbaby, so we got lots of stuff going on. But my focus is now just coaching as far as life coaching. When you're involved in what you're doing, sometimes you've got some of those things that, kind of trip you up. That, and I've done admin for over 30 years and helping small businesses adapt the admin, implement it so that it produces for you. And, because you have lots of hats and plates that you spin, if you can get some ease and assistance, that's so much better. So, I've got my YouTube and I've got my Instagram up. I showed on there that I'm rebuilding, so we can connect from there. And I think I'm also on LinkedIn too.
Great, great. And Kendra posted in the chat that Southern hospitality is everything. Shout out to all the Georgia people in the room. And Latoya, I know you're not in the industry, but do you want to come on and say anything?
You talking to me?
Latoya, so
Oh,
Latoya.
okay. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, not yet. No. Is this Coach Coleman? Is this you?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't see the live feed, so just let
Oh,
me know what it
we're
is.
live. We're live on Facebook, and I'll repost the recording on YouTube later.
So I don't, I'm not seeing the live feed. Maybe see, I'm a little slow with technology. See, this is where I need help. So anybody that has the patience to help me, please. Right? Is that, because I don't see it popped on there. I can't, there's nothing.
No
No,
worries. I will send it to you right now.
that's all I'm like.
Yeah,
So
it's not
now
showing.
I'll be
It's not
stuck.
showing that you live. It's not showing that
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So or not, I'll be so distracted trying to get to it. No. Mm,
It's showing on mine
let me see. Let me look.
right here. For
No,
some,
no, yeah. Let me, I'm on the,
I don't know.
um, no.
Oh, go to Brina Coleman,
Hmm. That's where, yep.
not Coach Coleman. The Brina. I have multiple.
That's where I'm at, and it's not showing that.
Yeah, mine's not showing either. Just,
Oh, that's so weird.
well, at least I'm not alone, because then I'm gonna think I'm
Yeah, I can see
crazy.
it. I can see it too
Yeah,
live
first.
on
Oh, you
mine.
can see
For
that?
real?
You tag me?
Yeah.
Can someone tag? Can you just
Yeah,
tag
what is your
at Nicole Butler Vegas? Nicole
okay.
Butler.
Yeah, and I'm Toy Blackman.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not seeing, but Facebook can get tricky. Like,
Social
it,
media, technology.
Hmm.
yeah, it's good old Facebook and messing with the algorithms and all that mess. Yeah, it's not. But if not, I mean, I can just share it later. I would have just tagged a whole bunch of people, because I think a lot of people, um,
Is it this one?
nope, Nicole Butler Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Okay.
Vegas in there. I'm stuck with Nicole Vegas. When I went to showbiz, I didn't know people were going to call me whatever was on my Facebook. I am, but my last name's Butler, so I kind of wanted to squeeze my real name in there. But nobody really cares about Butler.
That's a gem in itself. Whatever
Yeah,
your social media name is, that's what they go by, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
this is mine. Right. Hold on.
Okay, I see it now.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
send you the live.
So yeah, I know people have different platforms, and I think it's navigating and communicating how to come together when you're building your way through any business. The platforms of marketing, finding what is your niche. It can be very confusing in the beginning, and there's not a lot of people who are like, "Oh, here you go. Here it is." Nothing. You are in like a. I'm telling you, I'm okay now, but I was in this like survivor mode of that song, Welcome to the Jungle. The first 3 years in that showbiz, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna make it. These people are gonna make me. Went in very sane and very more like military bearing, very this, but it gives you very a lot of emotions in this showbiz. I'm just
Oh
letting you know.
yeah.
So I'm like, you want to see what's in here? And I was like, you want to feel this? But it's getting there. I'm doing okay now. There's a lot of platforms. Once you start establishing some credibility, oh, thank you. Let me see. And I'm gonna follow you, and I'm following you. Um, but I'm just not getting the tags, but we'll figure it out. I'd rather get to the nitty gritty of um how others can connect. I am very Vegas based. So if there is platforms or podcasts that you want to get on, I know a lot of people, a lot of different platforms. And I think communicating what you want to the people when you're making posts, have all your links on there, because they're not going to, I know I'm not going to just dig unless I'm working with somebody side by side and I got to see who they really are compared to what they want me to believe who they are. So put those links in there, advertise, market. If I tell people, if I'm not seeing enough on Facebook of you, you're not doing enough. Or they're going to give you like that week of timeout because you're overdoing it. You're like, oh no, you're in timeout for 6 days. But I think there's all different platforms for showbiz. I know, I'm not sure who from North Carolina. You're saying you finished a project, you're in it a year. What was the production?
Um, it's my production, Successful Toy Production. I just finished Granny Block, and we're streaming on RM Entertainment. They on Roku, Apple TV, Google TV, Amazon Plus. So within a week, we hit number one on their station. So I'm literally trying to go through Film Hub to get it on Tubi and our other platforms. So it's a waiting game with Film Hub. So I'm just waiting for them. But while I'm doing that, I'm shopping around other
Distribution.
platforms to get it streamed on. So yeah, before I came on, I had a have you ever heard of Soul Stream? Because they reached out to me to put my film on there, but I told them they like split revenue, they said, but baby, I need more information because
Yeah, don't get me started on bad distribution. I already had my first on this Desert Fiends. They Gravitas Ventures ended up getting bought out by Shout. Shout company is very big. However, we connected with Gravitas for our first feature film, and when they got bought out, I felt like ours got lost in the mix.
Mhm,
They wanted 30,000 K, which we signed for marketing, which they never did, which
mhm.
lot of things. When you're signing for distribution, make sure in the contract that it says that they have to release it within a year. They're not going to tell you this stuff. And also when you sign, they're not going to tell you what you need to do. And there is, I could pull it up too. There's so much with the title and the chain. There's like a whole list that you have to do after you sign with them, but they're not going to tell you until after you sign with them. And you
Mm.
have to be careful. Sometimes they'll sign with you for 6 years, 10 years. There's so much that I didn't know. Like, you know how you learn from the first and then you do a
Nic-
second, and you learn from the
Nicole, when I tell you I just got a contract the other day, I'm not gonna even put the company out there. When I tell you, when I went through that contract and I even had my girlfriend to go, I was like, all right, I don't went through it, but can you go through this too? I want to make sure I'm reading what I'm reading. When I tell you that thing was like signing to death row, they taken over my project. I would have no more rights. No, baby, that's not happening. I did not sign that contract.
well, that's the thing. So if you have an IMED Pro,
Hmm.
click on there because if people are like, oh,
I
I
do.
have distribution. So I look and it's really theirs. There's really not a real platform. You can do it on your own through Film Hub.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
the
don't
thing.
know. Like we had our second feature film. We're having it through Desktop Entertainment,
Hmm.
and they're releasing it March 3rd. We'll see how they do. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like step of the way, sometimes it's too little, too late, and then you figure it out, and you're like, and the thing that really makes me mad, I just had to go through something recently, like last week, is that I'm mixing with somebody and then I find out all these other things. So I'm presenting, I'm like I do call it out, like I'll wait a little bit and then I will just let it out there.
Hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, we just thought it'd be different with you. Don't do that to someone. Give them at least a heads up so they can make a good choice on
Right.
what they're doing. So oh yeah, a lot of things in the showbiz that I'm going to give you a heads up though. The chain of title letter, certificate of origin, the copyright acknowledgement, the producer's agreement, the producer's amendment. There's writing contracts. There's screenplay amendments. There's the director agreement. There's a list they're going to give you. I'm just, just no one tells you that. You're like, okay, well, you have everything put together. Also, they're going to ask for all your release forms, your crew,
Mhm.
your talent, the property. They're going to want your LLC. They're going to want your insurance. All of this stuff needs to be done in distribution. When that's all set, they're going to go through QC,
Mhm.
quality control. So they're going to look to see what they have to fix. Well, you're going to have to fix every not them,
Right.
your team, with the sound, the color grade, the editing, all of it. So when people are like, "Oh, I made a film," oh, well, you're not. You finish filming, does it? Then you got post production, then you have distribution, and then eventually you have a red carpet, and then if you get fortunate enough to market enough, then you'll have conventions start connecting and wanting you there. I had my first panel because people are like, "Who's Desert Beans?" I'm like, "Right? Who are the Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And you got to introduce yourself because even if you do have a name with somebody, doesn't mean they're meeting you for the first time.
Right.
So um, get yourself out there. I'm going to that MegaCon in Orlando at the end of this month. It's my first time at they're like, oh, you're going to get lost there. I was like, you know what? You're going to make me not want to go. I don't want to
Right.
get
Right.
some 200,000 person convention. But we did get a table comp through Indie Horror Junkie. So there's filmmakers there. But that table, I found out $2,200. Who's gonna pay? I wouldn't do that. So I'm
That's
good they caught me because I'm spending. I'm like, I'm not paying $2,200 for a table. I'm good over here then.
right.
So yeah, but yeah, you have to be really careful and read the fine line. And they should not ever do 30,000 of upfront that for the advertising,
Hmm.
10K at the most. I didn't know this. We're new. We're like, oh, we got somebody. So those distribution packets, I have a friend, his name's Sean C. Phillips. He is a director. I work with him. He comes out here to Vegas to help film these independent films. We're in a
Yeah.
campaigning now. So what we do, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but we do pay to plays. That's the only way we're able to do it. So if someone wants a principal work, they want to get pretend killed. I gotta say it like that because people are like, what? Killed? I'm like, pretend killed. It's chocolate blood. You'll be okay. Uh,
Yeah.
but there's ways to get yourself out there and you want to connect with people that can show they can get distribution because then you pay back your investors and then you get bigger investors and you get bigger talent and it keeps going with that. But to push through that threshold is freaking hard. it's
Yeah.
it's just and it's not just what I just mentioned. I mean there's people that um man they are plotting for your downfall and they're insecure here and they
You gotta
self-inject.
tell me.
They're gonna. So you're good. The thing is, you're not going to be able. I people like, oh, don't forget about me. I was like, well, better work
Forget
because I'm
about you.
working. You better work.
I'm
And
definitely forgetting about you.
yeah. Well, or they're like, don't change. And at first I was like, oh, I won't. But then 5 years into it now, you're going to change. You're going to
Mhm.
change because you're going to be aware of who you want to put your time, money, and energy into. Not everybody has the same agenda or the same heart as you. And you have to be able to figure that out sooner than later, or you'll be in trouble.
Right. And I done went through that already, Nicole. I promise you, it was
I know.
3 months,
Yeah,
three
yeah.
months in. And to be honest, it's always the males. I haven't ran into no female yet to work with. It always the males. And girl, I can tell you a whole book right now, and I'm just like, yeah.
So how are you dealing with it? So when you go through conflict with somebody, I only had one female. She was like 60 and she's trying to take over the whole site. Like I let her open it up for free range. She goes, I'm executive producer. You don't make this shot. You gotta be careful. People try to take your area. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna slap you into the uh, ground. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
done. But at the same time, it was like, oh, make sure you're professional. I go, how professional can you be not speaking up? You have to speak up in the showbiz. You have to, because if you don't, you're going to get walked all over and people are just going to put you right into that ground. So you're going to
Mhm.
have to find, be assertive, but also direct. So I'm very fair, firm, and consistent. And guys don't like that. It's very male dominated. That's fine.
Mhm.
My background, just like, 10 years ago, I only did a year. I was a cop here in North Las Vegas. I'm a military veteran. So I had my military, I thought I was tough. I had my gun, I'm like, yeah. And now I'm like, I'm good. Like, I like this. This is better, more
Right.
grateful. I know sometimes I can have the other side. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I'm like, oh, I am back. I just, you just have to address it. If you can pull from people that have experience, you're going to see what the best avenue approach is, but at the same time, you're going to shut things down. If someone's not getting along on your set, which you can't make everybody get along. I had 80 people on my set at a time. It's a bigger independent film set, and we had named people at each other. Like, I'm gonna get the get along shirt. Like, what? You got to stop it, film it, and then address it afterwards because time is money. Some people are only there for that day, so you got to
Yeah.
handle what you can, but no one's ever going to be fully happy. It
Right.
just is. Um, but yeah, I know everybody has here. I don't want to over talk. I want people to be able to share, what their way is with dealing with somebody that could be difficult or trying to take something from you, or they could do those passive aggressive comments. So, what do you get? I'm 47 this year, so I'm like,
Me too.
yeah, yeah.
I'll be 48 this year.
Yeah, so you get older and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going through probably premenopausal stuff. I'm telling you, I don't even know I might not be able to control myself. This could be it for me. My mind is all over the place. Maybe that's where I'm getting these extra emotions from. So I'm hoping, and I laugh a lot too. I don't cry anymore. Like the tear, like
Yeah.
I laugh a lot, so I'm either laughing because it's so ridiculous, or I'm so pissed off. So I was, you're so happy. I was like, so mad right now. Not happy. I'm trying to cope with reasoning with myself to do the best right thing possible. Ooh, it's gotta breathe those out. You gotta.
I have learned to just walk away. Like it's not worth my time nor energy when it comes to these directors that claim they've been in the business more than me, but I'm more professional than them. And then they don't even have work to show, but yet you've been in the industry all these years, but you have nothing to show. You feel me? So I have learned to just walk away. Like
Oh, you
my
walked.
mental is more than anything. Like I'm not just gonna put up with bull crap because you have a camera. I'm not doing that. So when it comes to the cast and all that drama stuff, I remove them. I don't have energy for it. No, none of that. Thank God he's already weaved out the negative from the first, you know what I'm saying? So it's like now everybody is getting along and they have great chemistry. So my thing is I want to work with different people, but at the same time, I'm keeping the people that's literally riding for me from day one. So if I have a film and they want to be a part of it, I'm definitely gonna always like keep the same faces and add new people if my peoples don't want that role and something like that, so that's my vision for my team, and that's why I'm going with it. But yeah, I don't, that drama, I don't want it, and I'm not going to deal with it at all.
And
But
I'm
Again,
if
for
we
me,
on set, I get what you're saying. If we on set, that's something different. Like, I'm going to talk to y'all, and y'all got to squash it and move forward. Or, baby, next, it's too many people out here that want to act.
so
and that
show
kind of
business
goes into my
drama.
next segment of how do we turn, or how have you all turned your passion into profit from each role, from the mental health side, from the production side, from the modeling side, from scaling from modeling to branding? How did you turn that passion into profit?
Woo. So with the model, because remember I was a model years ago. So with the modeling thing, the only reason why I stopped modeling because I got into a bad contract, excited to get signed, didn't fully read the contract. Then I told my manager straight up what I didn't want to do before I even signed with them, because I have kids. I'm not with all that extra stuff because my kids was old enough to go on porn sites and see stuff. So with that, I end up having to stop model because they literally put me in a magazine that's in jailhouses and all that stuff. Yeah, so I stopped modeling, and I was stuck in that contract for 3 years. They wouldn't just like let me go, so I couldn't do anything. So I just stopped. So from there, it was just like I just had to start businesses. That's the only way I started making money, when I started businesses. So I really, when it came to modeling, I was getting paid before I even signed with somebody. So I tell people, if you can stay independent, because I was making more money and getting booked more when I didn't have a manager versus when I had a manager.
And
Yes.
I'll piggy off of that. Honestly, that's very true. I'm only 27. I modeled for a few years. I actually have a heavy stagehand background. So I worked with like WWE. I was a crew chief. And then from WWE, I ended up working with Dior for a little bit on their leadership team. And you see a lot of things being a behind the scenes person and then being on the model shoots. And I think one thing that's not talked about enough is um, they like to cover up like opportunity, but really it's exploitation.
Yeah.
And too many models end up being in position that, even myself included, being in position where you feel like, oh, the opportunity, it's like do or die. Like it's now or you'll never see it. Sign the contract now, you'll never see it. I've always been an independent model just because I've seen and witnessed too many things, and I'm like, I could never sign with the wrong person. Um, and I just try to build teams as well as myself. Like it's the people you meet and everything. And I ended up just becoming really passionate about taking something that's exploitation, turning it back into the opportunity and putting the other girls on. And I think when you build something very consistent in that nature, finding the right models, meeting the right people, advocating for one another, you realize like how much passion in that. And I guess to tie that into like how to profit from that, write your own contract. I always tell people like write your own contract. Um, Being an independent contractor or independent model, it's not enough to just have the team present to the model like, hey, here's this contract. We're gonna pay you 3,000 for this, and then you don't realize you may be getting paid 3,000, but you may not see but 25% of that right off rip, and then let alone from that, now they own the rights to this image for the next few years. Whereas the image, you may never see it until you find out from the grapevine. Like how you said, you end up in like the jailhouses and all these other things that you're probably like, I was never told that was gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yes, so I've been on some shoots as well before, in Orlando where we would have these castings. And I used to think, being young and like, oh my gosh, this opportunity. We would go to these castings and it would be nothing like what we thought. Like, so for me, it's like the money's not enough. I started bringing my own contract. I put my own fee, my own timing. Um, what my craft is, like how long or who are the photographers. I want to meet them in advance. Who is going to be on the set. I've been on so many sets before where there's people that was never in the group chats, like that are also there. And then they're like photographers and they're also taking images, but we're not seeing where that's going, and everything as well. And I think that also ties into like talent's just not enough. Like being in those spaces, your talent is just not enough. You have to have awareness, like knowing, otherwise you won't even profit from that, let alone where the images are going.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Kendra is next. She has her hand raised.
I am so back. I'm sorry, y'all. It has been a day. So I want to piggyback off of that because I have tried to educate my models. I went from modeling myself, acting, and I've worked with so many people. Then I start doing my own thing. I've always done my own thing. And I've always coming from the legal side of things. I was trying to go to school to be an attorney before I got sick and I had to pivot. So modeling has always been something to help me spread my awareness about my illness and everything. But I've always tried to tell the young ladies, get you a contract. That way, when things go left, you have something in place. And I've seen it so many times where they've tried to pay a young lady at a video shoot with alcohol and weed. Like, that's not money, And I've been on so many, I'm talking about club promoting with Big Sigadum and V103. I've had to work with Spice, get her models together for her shoots, for her website, for Grassy Knoll. Now she has a storefront. So I've seen a lot. And then I've been approached or thought that the way to go was through agencies. And I found out a manager is better than an agency because agencies have so many models to focus on, they lose sight, right? And then it gets to maybe talent isn't enough because you do have favoritism in every single aspect of every single profession in life, right? So maybe they start taking the favoritism and you're losing that way. So I always champion young women and young men to stay independent. Like I've had to dress so many different fashion shows here. I've had to do a lot, right? Sheen Magazine, everything. And it's just about, like she said, awareness. And when you're young, you're coming in not assuming that people will take advantage of you because, they're trying to get a service out of you. But that's the issue. They're just trying to get a service out of you. And it's sad, but it's true. Entertainment is not the best place to be. I would always tell people that. And I've seen music side of it, modeling side of it, acting side of it. I've seen all sides of it. And I've worked with famous people, people trying to make it. Like I've even done radio, indie radio, where I work with old members of D4L, and it's just a lot where you have to be aware of your surroundings, do the research about the people you are actually working with. When you come into anything in life, I tell people research it. I don't care if you're going to another country, research. You need to know and be aware of your dealings with the individual and their reputation because a lot of times people will try to just play you. I hate to say it like that, but that's literally it. And beautiful people shouldn't have to sacrifice their talent. And, that I hate to say it like that, but as I teach models, right? Everyone is beautiful to me. And sometimes the client is looking for a certain look. Sometimes the client is looking for a certain walk and vice versa. Like people be like, oh, I didn't get picked. Well, you're still a beautiful person. It's because they didn't choose you. They was looking for a certain thing. Like it's not always to take things personal as well, but just be aware of how things work in every industry and every aspect of modeling. And if you know you're not standard 5, 9, 6 plus, you're not going to be a runway model. So let's get you into something else. Let's do print. Let's do editorial. Let's do commercials. Commercials get plenty of money. That's why I aim at in general, even with acting, commercials is everything. Get you some residuals. Just be aware of everything. And did y'all call my name before you said I was back? I was listening, but I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. What was I doing, y'all? My bad. But that's what I wanted to say.
And that's true. Also, like when you talk about being picked for things, it's funny. So I've done runway modeling for 4.5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
I did it actually in LA for a long time. And it's weird because I was always in Florida. I never lived in LA, but I would always travel there all the time.
That's where you should
Um,
be at. Hmm.
yeah, like all this stuff is there. And what's crazy is being that I'm actually 6 foot, like standing, and I think I'm not done growing. like crazy enough. I think I'm not done growing, but
Girl, give your body that time. It's gonna do what it's gonna do.
yes. So the opposite has actually been for me. So obviously I have my braids in now. I'm also a hairstylist on the side, but I used to wear my natural hair a lot, and
Hmm.
you would think like certain things I would get casted for that I actually didn't because my height was like a really big factor, especially like my weight change, my weight fluctuation and everything. Like I'm 6 foot, 230 pounds, and I don't get picked for a lot of fashion opportunities. And one thing a lot of people always tell me is like, oh, well, like you're not getting picked, you're not upset or nothing. I'm like, no, you shouldn't wait to get picked as a model. You should never just wait.
Yeah,
Some of
going.
my best modeling opportunities, I mean, like my best opportunities have been because I created my own platform. Like I just went, networked, um, talked about who I was and what I wanted to do. And I said it with confidence, like, this is who I am. And that's how I ended up actually getting the opportunity working with Dior. So they had a creative program
Hmm.
that was helping this one small like modeling school that a woman put together. And it was Dior and FTAU. And what they had was I saw them posting about it all the time. Like, oh, there's this fashion opportunity. The lady was posting, and I was like, let me send them a DM or send them an email. And I
You
did.
never
I was able
know.
to get a phone call. From the phone call, again, you never know if you're gonna get a yes or no. And I do see a lot of models take the no at a lot of things. I don't see enough models who are able to handle when they do get a yes for a really big opportunity. So
Right,
there's some people where it's like you get a big opportunity, you get the money, you get everything that looks right. That's
right.
actually not exploitation for once. You're getting the passion, you're getting the profit, you're getting the good
Exactly.
part. So learning to say yes to that, especially when you're kind of skeptical as an independent model, can be difficult, but it's one of those things where it's like you don't have to wait for someone to select you. Also,
Amen.
here in 2026, it's super inclusive. A lot of industries are super inclusive now. There's a lot of local talent who are so good, who have a passion that if only you built the right team and the right people, it'll blow
Yeah.
up, especially
And
through social media.
And that's what I was about to say. Social media has made a very, very big change in modeling, right? And I hate when people say Instagram models and all of that, whatever. That's just a different lane, right? When I say there's runway, there's editorial, social media has added their own lane, and you pivoting is what you should always do. When I used to coach, I would tell them pivoting is what you need to be aware of. Because I'm going to tell you, LA is very cliche. I'm going to tell you 6 feet is everything, New York, LA, but it's your fluctuating weight. And that is one thing that I still hate for this industry in general, because you're going to see plus size models finally making it because they're going to consider you that, even with your height. And it's just how they are. And they've started finally accepting, I'm talking about actual plus size models because I have a few. And in Spice, I love that African women love, meat. Okay. I be wanting my meat. But anyway, because I'm going to eat. But, there's been so many documentaries about models starving themselves to fit in this industry because this industry is so close minded. And even when they stepped outside to say, oh, let's get some plus size models on these screens, they didn't really do it for us. They only did it because of times changing. And as you can see, plus size models are still, even though they're out now and they've been shown more, you're seeing that there's still not a lot of them. And that's my issue still with this industry. So pivoting and being able to pivot is the main thing and the best thing you do. And confidence is the main talent you should have. That's what you should wear coming into any room, doing anything. That's the biggest thing you can have. If you're confident, oh, you're gonna get some stuff done. If I see you coming in timid, I'm not going to select you. You're not confident to do, you're not going to sell these clothes. You're not going to do what I need you to do. Right. So that's amazing. And I'm glad you got that. That's on your resume now. And now you can demand a higher dollar. Right. The price yesterday was not the price today. So that's amazing. That's beautiful. I love that.
So it seems like we covered branding, how to brand ourselves, what that means, why is it important, and what about consistency? How to stay motivated, visible, and intentional in your craft, not to get lost or swayed.
Oh,
Oh, okay. With the consistency part, you have to stay consistent. Hold on, because my dog is just being.
Anyone want to piggyback off the consistency?
You definitely have to stay consistent. And I see that's with me, that's not a problem for me. I stay consistent. It's just the people. I feel like I haven't found my people yet, you know? But other than that, like I don't have a problem with being consistent. Like I know people get tired of me because I promote my butt off. I know they get tired of
As
me.
you should. That's
So
one thing
yeah.
I always say is think about McDonald's, think about Walmart, think about Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. You see it constantly, constantly,
Hmm.
every corner, every commercial. It's always in your face. Even if you don't like it, you think about it. Think about a song that absolutely got on your nerves. You're like, oh, that's a stupid song. I don't like it, but you hear it on the radio, you hear it on Pandora, Spotify, you just hear it. And next thing you know, you're walking around and you're humming
Thank
the song. It's in your face, it's in your ear all the time, constantly. So I always say with marketing and branding, if even if you don't know what you're doing, you're not an expert, just keep pushing. It's it's gonna hit.
That's what I was about to say. That's the thing that will get anybody. These companies, I used to work as a team leader at Anheuser-Busch for almost 2 years from the branding and marketing side, right? So I got different levels because at this point I feel like you have to be someone not only with talent, but with the ability to switch it up. So in the branding and marketing, you want to, if you promote enough, they have these big $1 million budgets, right? Even though they're old money companies, they're still going to make you see them. They're going to make you remember them. They're going to do the promo. They're going to do that. So, it takes money sometimes to make money. That's another thing. And with social media being a new avenue, it's kind of made it easier to reach people. So, whereas we don't get to buy commercials because, I mean, I ain't got no model budget to buy a commercial. But through social media, it's that, right? It is something like a commercial. That's what your reels are for. So the more consistent you are, the more constant you are, the better you are at being seen, heard, and understood. And get the budget for that. Get the budget for a lot of different avenues. Do Google. Google, I know people, don't think that's a real thing. That's why I have Yelp and Google because, through my organization side of things, you need that, right? But modeling too. Have people start doing reviews for you. Step outside the box. A model with a Google review, okay, that's different. That's new, right? And that's something I haven't done for myself because I retired. Okay, I'm not doing it anymore. But as I've been coaching and teaching people after I retired from that too. But anyway, I would tell them these things because it's something different. It's something professional. It's something that professional bigger companies like Anheuser-Busch and Anheuser-Busch is like Budweiser, if y'all didn't know what I was saying, and all of these other companies, or you got to see your Levi's and all of this. It's a bigger avenue. And through social media, you also have to know who you're dealing with. Like I said, let's be real, you have different cultures. Also, learn how to switch it up, tailor to that culture. It's just branding and marketing. That's what people do. You switch it up. I'm a model. I'm putting on a different face today. I'm an actress. I'm gonna be drama this day and I'm gonna be comedy the next day. Be able to switch it in that way and market it that way as well. And make sure you just stay consistent. Because I used to get paid on social media because, baby, I was outside. You're going to see Kendra 100 somewhere, okay? But I don't do it anymore. I hit my own pivots where I'm focused on other things now. My nonprofit is very, very important to me because the message that I was displaying through modeling kind of got misconstrued. I love that people like my modeling and everything, but I don't like that I wasn't understanding my message. So that's when I started going on the back end and learning more, pivoting and going on the opposite side of things. And I actually got paid more on the opposite side of things. So, learn every avenue of your interest, right? If you're a model, learn how to coach somebody or pose or whatever. Let's learn all sides of it just in case something happens in life where you're gonna have to pivot anyway. So I would say that as well as consistency. Because what Labrina is saying, branding and marketing is very huge for everybody. So get you a little budget, man. Get you something where you can be on all the social medias, the TikToks, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTube, everything. So that way they'll start paying you too for your marketing, and then start asking you, hey, can you represent this brand for me? Can you do this for me? I got stuff I got sitting here because people don't understand I'm not influencing anymore for real. But it's sitting here, and I'm like, please stop sending me stuff because, let's talk about it first and see if I want to do it. But the more you're out there and you're putting those hashtags in, that's influencer, put it in your bio, put it in stuff where people start reaching out to you, where you don't always have to do all the work and find them. I'm not reaching out to anybody right now, and haven't done any of it in like 2 years, going on three now. Yet I'm still getting the emails and everything, and also be aware of scams because that's another thing. Gmail should not be hitting you up about any company that's supposed to be real. I'm just going to be 1,000. People will get that and think it's real, and it's not. I've seen models go down the other way. And 99, them people are scammers. This is like a pyramid scheme of foolery. Okay, stay away from them too. It's so much of that, and you would think like, why haven't they been shut down yet? Because they're making you see them. They put out these commercials. They're doing what these big companies are doing, and what I'm telling y'all to do: stay consistent and get your reels and get your digitals, get your headshots. Keep everything updated. That's supposed to be every 6 months. A lot of models keep old pictures, right? And you don't know that people are looking. They seen them pictures. I don't even like. I used to not like to wear something twice because I feel like y'all gonna remember it. Now I do have a shopping habit. Please don't be that person, okay? Because maybe that budget will eat you up another way. But start working with designers. I will say barter system is a beautiful thing. That's why community is very huge for me as well. I would tell, like you said, you need to have the right people, right? Get your designer that believes in you too, and you rock their clothes, and y'all create reels and stuff together. Let y'all grow together in that way, and that way you don't have to buy the clothes anymore. Make a different way. If you don't have the money, figure out how to get it, or figure out how to barter from somebody that has the things that you need. So that way y'all can grow together and get the eyes on you both. It's different ways. I promise y'all. I will sit here and just think about it. I'm a Virgo. I think too much anyway, but that's it's and then it's just probably like my branding and marketing side too. It's a business. And then the lawyer in me that, I have to be aware of people. I go in not expecting people to give me their integrity. I'm very Southern. I will give you mines every time. That's how I was raised. But I had to learn myself through people stealing ideas, using the heck out of me for low prices. And I'm like, wait, I did this and this. Why am I getting this? And I was young too, and I had to learn that. But the damage was done, and you have to rebuild off of that after that. So yeah, Lorena is definitely right on that. Get that branding and marketing going and being consistent.
And I'm glad you said that because it kind of piggybacks to what Nicole said in the very beginning about being assertive. So
Mm-hmm.
have your soft side, but being assertive and standing on business. If you said it, stay consistent
Say that.
to it. Don't sway to
Each.
the left, don't sway to the right, because that's
Mm-hmm.
people feel like they have a loophole to get in, like and persuade you to do something that you originally did not agree to.
Facts.
It's okay to meet them halfway if you feel comfortable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's just my 2 cents.
If anyway the output is going to be bigger, like I would say, and I hate to be a nerd and everything too, I'm still a utilitarian. I'm going to weigh the cost and benefits too. If I do have to meet you in the half, is it really going to be still more beneficial for me? Find out every time, is it going to be more beneficial to you? Every time. I know it's work to sit here and say costs and benefits for real. Like, is it good or is it bad? And which list is going to, add up to be, the more of. And you never take the less, right? So be definitely assertive. I didn't hear that in the beginning. What was I? Oh, y'all, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was at the grocery store. That's what was happening. Okay, child, I was in the grocery store. I love y'all so much. And I was like, oh, we gotta be on at 4. And I was listening, but see, I was in and out. But yes, what she said in the beginning, assertiveness is everything. Get you a whole price sheet and stick to that. I used to say how to book me. And that's how I got my model page up for a second. and I stopped promoting it, which I need to get back to. But I will tell people how to book me, right? I type that out and I posted it every day. Stop asking me questions that don't even make sense. When you are a person of business and professionalism, you should know how to approach someone anyway. But just in case you don't, let me educate you about me and what I expect, and my expectations and my priorities and what I need to be accommodated with, right? If you're gonna give me just $100, well, okay, well, makeup and hair need to be there, and that just need to be for 2 hours. Just just pivot. Just get you some detailed price sheets, basically, and tell people how to book you.
Mm. And how about you, Miss Davis? Anything or suggestions from the mental health side?
Well, I was going to say you ladies are phenomenal, and your hustle is on point. I'm taking some tips from you as well. Now I'm the one that just passed the menopause, so it's a whole, it's a
You
whole
good, girl? I don't nobody care.
it's a whole nother world. But and I find that as creatives, because I consider whatever gifting you've been given, I call them all creatives, and it seems to be across the board that oftentimes whatever you create, someone is trying to take advantage of. Someone is trying to, to shortcut, just to take ownership of. And so I give you guys props for your tenacity and you get to it. But I also want to chime in that you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. um, it's one thing to have the drive, and I can speak from experience. It's one thing to have that drive, but if your body and your mind and your well-being is not fully equipped, it will collapse on you. It will, when you may have in your head, we're going to go forward, and the next thing you're on the floor or you're sick, or whatever the case might be, and you may get frustrated because you're like, I don't understand. I'm just gonna no. There are some rules. Just like rules in business, there are rules when it comes to your body. There are rules when it comes to your mental health, and ignoring them, it's only a matter of time, and there will be a time where your body and your mind's like, okay, reset. Since you're not listening, we're gonna go ahead and put the reset in for you. And so, key things that are essential, especially if you can see that maybe there are some cycles that seem to be just coming regular and regular, and your hustle is not overriding that. You'll want to pay attention to digging in to find out what that is, because one of the things that I've learned is our bodies were designed for truth. They malfunction with lies. And our voices are incredibly powerful to our body. Our body will respond to our voice. So the things that we are telling ourselves, the things that's the stuff that you got going on in your head that you may not say to somebody else, um, or whatever the case might be. It has power. And so, I kind of look at it from this perspective. We have been given a lot to govern as far as ourselves, our talent, our body, our whole being. That's a lot to govern. And so if we don't have those buckets balanced, somebody's going to get thrown off.
Mm.
And your hustle, and sometimes you can probably even think of some people who were hustlers, and their life expired earlier than it should have. Um, or whatever the case might be. And so we can't forget those pillars, those things, those foundational things that you need, because our talent, our giftings will only take us so far, and we don't want to compensate with imitation extenders. You know,
Ooh,
sometimes
that's a good one.
we'll find a band-aid to try to make things go further, and your body, your soul, and your spirit are going, hold up, wait a minute. You've been running us on nearly empty. Can we sit down for a minute so that we can process through this? Stuff comes up. you're having panic attacks. You don't know why, and in my situation, and for you ladies, you're on the thinner side. Girlfriend got, went on the thicker side when it came to stress and cortisol. My issue was that, and it put weight on me. Want to go to the gym, and the menopause has kicked in, and I have been driving on adrenaline for 20 plus years. It won't work out like you expect it to work out. You have to step back and go, okay, wait a minute. First things first, not only the food and whatnot, but also the dadgum stress. What do you got going? What kind of relationships do you have going on feeding what it's like, is it working with you or working against you? So some of those basic core things, that's really where I've kind of come down to. And peace is a priceless,
Mm.
priceless. I grew up in Vegas, and when I came out of high school, we could make good money. You could be a dealer. I wasn't a dealer, and I'm a church girl, so y'all have to forgive me. So I didn't do the dealing stuff, but I did the admin. And I'm in a hotel. We're getting fed premium meals. You get this plus and that perk and all of that. But I learned then when I was 18, I'm like, there's something about I need to have a passion for what I'm doing because the money doesn't fill. It's very
Mm-hmm.
empty. It's very empty. It's not satisfying. And this is just, people do things to themselves to numb themselves out just because you think it's about the money or just because you think it's about the fame. There's things that and so these things matter. I'm going to throw this in. We're only here for whatever time we're here. We're going to have to give an
Mm-hmm.
account for the lay of your life to the one that designed us. So we want to be able to present. We get a one shot thing, one shot time, and you've got so many lives that we impact and stuff like that. Just to keep that in mind, and um, and that's all I got to say.
Let me pick you back because Miss Valencia, she be fussing at me, y'all. Let me just tell y'all, she didn't told me, sit, girl, sit down. And I think over the years, with me almost dying 6 times, so clearly stress and me having Crohn's disease has now like kind of spiraled, or like that dust ball in the Wild Wild West, and just pick up stuff. Now I have fibromyalgia, two rare skin illness, and like I said, it went from 1 to 2 near deaths to 6. Like it's a lot, and if you keep not listening to your body and running on fumes, you're gonna run out. And I will tell y'all, I'm the biggest person that will keep going and going and going because, oh, I need to pay this bill. But my mom would say, and my great grandmother who passed last year, 102, if you're not here, then how are you going to do that? Will it even matter? So that's kind of a reason also why I stepped back from the modeling side and working with celebrities. Because at the end of the day, even though I have some of their numbers, they don't support when I do the nonprofit things. When I'm trying to educate people about, okay, this is causing this, and it's outside of our control, but at the same time, you can control it by choosing to know enough, right? So that's why I say telling the models, go into knowing who you're dealing with, know yourself as well, and have your stuff together. Be that assertive person because if you're going to piggyback on yourself, then you're probably going to piggyback on your prices and dealing with how you deal with other people. So the mental is also a thing I'm so heavily, I would say, so heavily involved with because I'm trying to tell people that the stronger your mental is, the better your health will become. Because, when you have mental illnesses, it's going to start affecting you physically. When you have physical illnesses, eventually it's going to start affecting you mentally. And that's kind of what happened to me, the physical to the mental, because my brain has been always strong. You can't tell Kendra nothing. She's going to do what she wants to do type of situation. I've been that way since a child age. And see, I figured out who I was, above time, right? But that's how I've always been. And then I had to catch up with maybe, well, people aren't just like that, Kendra. A lot of people don't want to know more, or a lot of people want to take what other people say as face value. I've always been very argumentative, hence why I wanted to be an attorney, because you're just not going to tell me nothing. I'm just going to automatically believe you. So this is how I've been literally since a child's age. But people are different. We're all designed here to be different. We're all creative in our own ways, and we all have figured out, well, or we are trying to figure out, eventually we're going to hit that. And the only way you're going to be successful at it is if you take your body and your mental into consideration. Because Kendra did not do that, which has gotten Kendra down 3 years now. So there's a hole in my leg, so there's no more runway, right? I also ate through that, and I have something called pyoderma gangrenosum, very rare. Nobody knows enough of nothing about nothing. It was something that wasn't even around with Dr. Sabi, right? So it's like, then where did this come from? And so I started getting deeper into trying to figure stuff out, but it will eventually affect your mental because you're stressed out about trying to figure out the whys, right? And then you're trying to figure out, your business, because when you don't have employees, it's only you. So when you're down, you're down. So I said this in my speech yesterday at the physical models about your business on site yesterday. In my speech, I was telling people you will get to a point where you're going to have to take the rest before it takes you. Because dying almost 6 times is not fun. I will not say it like it's fun. It has been very scary. I'm sitting here at work with a red line going up my arm. Apparently I had to get shot all type of ways because there was an infection going towards my heart. Did not know it. But yet I chose to go to work that day. Not feeling well, but because I need some freaking money, right? Which still pushing me out of work. So boom, it still happened. So it's levels to everything, and especially your mental and your health. And health is the actual real wealth. That's the only way we can really do anything, to make the money, to be the creative. If we don't have any of that together, you're not going to be able to hold it together mentally. So your mental is very important. So I tried to advocate. I was even down at the Capitol advocating. I joined another organization for suicide prevention because it was some segment I did as awareness, because I do a series called Healing Out Loud, and I try to educate people different months about different ailments and what to be aware of, and have people come tell their truths, because like you said, your truth is what you have. It's all you have. At the end of the day, they will say you have your word and your bond, period. So I'm old school in that way because that's how I was raised. But you're going to get to that moment where you don't want the illness to take away from your talent, but you have to remember that if your health is not intact, your talent won't matter because you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to do it, y'all. And I've been there, and I'm still in that moment, right? I'm still getting back up. People, when I say I'm retired, they be looking at me crazy because I'm still getting all these things. And even I did this shoot, and now they think I'm back. I was like, I was just playing, y'all. I'm just trying to see if I still got it. I was just playing because y'all talked me into it. Y'all was being cute. I was like, y'all go do my face, and I'll do it. But at the same time, I don't wear this every day. All of the makeup is off, right? Except for my eyes, because I want people to also understand that if you don't take care of your physical, that means your skin, your body, you're going to age ungracefully, and it's going to cause, ailments, down the line. But I also try to tell people it's things that you put input to. Like you said, I think the food caused all of this. I was very much country, and we grew up shelling peas on the porch. Now we had gardens, so I kind of grew up learning things differently as well, because a lot of people don't have they didn't have their great grandmother as long as I did all my life until last year. So it's like you don't know a lot of those things, and food has gotten way worse now. So even when you see the perms are giving people cancer, and you see all these things happening, but they've been on the box the whole time, and we ain't really think about it. But everybody's body is built and designed differently. Some people are just stronger, period, and I'm just not that. I'm affected by the wind blowing wrong, y'all, at this point. I'm like, why is the wind making me sick, child? What is the wind doing? Like, at this point, the wind is making me sick. I don't know. But it's like, you have to take care of yourself. And I'm telling models, do not starve yourself. Because I had an issue with us not being fed something, the whole 12 hours we were on set for this fashion show, and y'all don't want me to eat nothing. Y'all want me to pass out, and I've always been greedy. So I got a problem with that. I have been blessed to have a high metabolism too, where you ain't gonna see it. But like the young lady said earlier, when your weight fluctuates, right? And my illnesses causes that for me, whether you are too big or too small, it's going to cause some type of sickness, whether it's something you can't get rid of or something you can get rid of. But understand that something, it has to be mandatory too. It has to be consistent as well as you being healthy with yourself and being honest with yourself and not pushing yourself to limits that will cause you to be down and you can't perfect your craft or practice your craft in any way. And perfection doesn't even exist. So forget that. But
I was gonna
pivoting is a thing.
I was gonna also chime in, being that I have gotten older. There's some wisdom. Um,
Yeah.
and uh, we are not dealing with the same world that our grandparents had at
Thanks. Yes.
all. If you are not aware, if anybody, it's in my personal opinion, anybody that wakes up every morning today in these times, I congratulate you, first of all, because the opposing forces to put out your life or to take advantage of what you have and put out your life is tremendous. Just like you guys are very much, you make yourself aware of your partnerships and the people who you are connected to. We've got factors in place now that directly attack our health, our water, our air, our food, on top of what you got to deal with. And then
Right.
then we got to add if you've had any trauma, so I'm just simply saying these are the things that are on our table, and I've heard you all loud and clear when it comes to business, to handle business and to be aware, but also be fully aware that we have, and it's not just a US thing. This is a worldwide thing.
Hmm.
We have a whole group of people who are not as brilliant as you are, but they have the influence. And what they want is our efforts, talents, our bodies to be expendable. And so, I can have, I've been, you know, if anybody wants to have, these are the type of conversations you have offline because they get into the weeds and they really pull back the curtains. But just wanted to I just commend you guys for what you are doing. But yeah, those things are certainly needed, and you can only fake the funk for so long, and then somebody's going you're going to get pulled over to the side of the road unwillingly.
Or fall out on the sidewalk, and construction workers got to help you because you're at a blood level of 2 and your normal is 10 and you didn't know. And literally that happened to me. So it's me always overdoing. So even today, like this is a flare day, so that's why I just came on camera, y'all. Yesterday just put me out. I'm just not even gonna hold y'all. Today, everything on me hurts. Okay, fibromyalgia or whatever this is supposed to be. I just think it's more so neurological, and they don't know what it is. But everything on me hurts, right? And so I'm here. We are here
Just
and
let
blessed to wake up. But
And I actually want to
true,
jump in really
yes,
quickly
ma'am.
as well. Um, when you said you're some people are strong, people aren't. I do want to say you right now, the fact that you are on here, like in the middle of the pain and everything, you are a strong woman, a very strong woman. All of you guys, I commend you. Um, again, it's power in what we say, regardless of the physical. It's crazy. Everything you guys are saying is like some notes that I have also, that I was
Ooh, come
prepping. But
on.
feeding the models, I'm one of those people that it's not just typical surface level, oh, you're a model, runway, whatever. Model is just who you are. Everyone is a model. Everyone is modeling something or some sort, whether it's storytelling as a creative. I went to film school. Film school probably was like set the bar for me as far as I didn't realize a lot of things I was good at naturally. There was a name for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know. And that's where I always tell people that is true. They don't feed us on set. They don't feed you. So what is the thing? You lean on community. If they're not going to do it, you have to become that person. Somebody has to. I remember doing Miami Swim Week and the casting, you're in line for 6 hours in the 96-degree heat. I
Woo.
brought packs of water because no one else who's going to be the one to make the stand. Um,
Amen.
we have to feed ourselves physically, we have to feed ourselves spiritually, we have to feed the people around us. And um, I believe that, everyone has strength in their own way. I think another thing that's a little different is not everyone may be a natural born leader. Some people are followers. Some people need someone to follow. Like, I think there's a big gap
That's true.
where a lot of us do think like be a leader, be a leader. And even myself, I used to advocate be a leader, strong woman, strong man, but then you get to the point about what about the people who I look at the analogy. I was just talking to a friend the other day, the analogy like a mountain, right? Or like rock climbers. Let's say rock climbers. Some people are only meant to go 100 meters, and you're maybe meant to go 600 meters or whatever.
Hmm.
It doesn't limit or make someone less of or more than just because God called you to 600 and called someone else to 100. If they made it to 100 meters and that's their top and that's their level of success, they've made it.
True.
Um, Same thing goes with pain. Just because someone else may have a higher level of pain or a higher pain tolerance or more trauma that they go through doesn't necessarily disqualify you from making a stance. And like, Kendra, you talking and everything you're saying as well, it's so beautiful and captivating. And it motivates me even because you may physically be retired from certain things, but you're there's a gift and there's a talent. I believe there's a difference between gifts and talents. A lot of people can be talented. You can have your talents. Talents is like you're good at it. You can have multiple talents, but not
Yes,
everybody
ma'am.
has certain gifts. That's rooted in who you are. That to me, in my opinion, it comes only with discovery. It's already in you, and that's why, some of us who are filmmakers or stagehand or certain leaders, you can look
Mm-hmm.
back at your childhood and be
That's
like, oh, I was telling stories a certain way, or oh, people say this about me. Um, I remember when I went to cosmetology school one year after high school, I used to put
Come
together,
out, pause. You
yeah,
have been to a lot of schools, girl. I ain't
I
mad at
have
you
been.
once. Okay, I just want to say
Yeah,
that. I love
I'm
it.
on a
I
lot
love
of
it.
side quests. I go
I
on
love
like
that.
a lot of
No,
side quests.
you gonna
I
find.
love
Listen, that's just
it.
more knowledge, right? That's just more.
Yes.
That's all.
I'm a tech girly. I love anything hands-on that I can like and be involved with people. Like, that's my thing. I just love it. And doing that for a year, I was putting together productions, and this is way before film school. I was putting together like finding models. I bought a camera, doing all these things. I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this so that I can tell people that I'm a hairstylist. It wasn't until people pulled out of me and would start telling me like, "Hey, like, do you do photography and video?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a hairstylist." And they're like, "Well, you just put together 20 models, you did their hair, their makeup, you filmed it, you put a crew together. What do you
Mm-hmm.
mean?" And I denied. I'm like, no, I'm just a hairstylist because other things were so natural, and that's why community is so important. Um, the right community is important. It's the people that surround you when you least expect it that you'll meet in life, who may be completely different from you that you may not even like for the first time you meet them, and then you realize, oh, like this is someone that's long term. Like, this is someone that's benefiting me. I'm
Right.
learning from them, they're learning from me. And I think a lot of traits that models especially need to carry is again, things for their mental health, but is good character. Do you have good integrity? Can you like point out who the snakes and the
Very
fishes
big on
are? Like,
integrity. Yes.
um I being in LA for the first time, I went through a year. God brought me through a process of acceleration and slowing down. So that's why a lot of things I can resonate with what you guys are saying. My acceleration year, I lost probably friends that I've had all my life that I was influenced by, that I looked up to, and it was so devastated. And all of that taught me a different level of emotional intelligence that really prepped me for my first LA runway where I didn't know people sabotage
That's
in
a
the modeling
pivot.
world. Yeah, that was a pivot. Modeling for me was like a side quest. I was like, oh, like I love runway. It's fun. It's just whatever. It got me to my end goal, which was hosting, storytelling, all of that. But I wouldn't have been ready had I not gone through what I did go through, had I not learned how to
Mhm.
build emotional intelligence and also be able to point out the things that were not for me. And then last year, fast forward all these years later, last year, I went through a period of slowing down. And I used to get so offended being a young person too. I got so offended when people, and a creative, like being that I love storytelling. I love like always being in the mix, always helping, even if I'm just like a PA on set, like anything that I can get my hands on. I had to learn not to be offended when people would tell me to slow down. And then I went through a stage where I was forced to slow down. And that whole year of having to take off from my creative things, I realized it is important, yes, to take care of your health. It is important to take care of your mental health, to try to surround yourself around, again, the right community. That can be very hard. And there's different like seasons of life as well. And I think also a thing that I don't see many people like answer as often, which I guess you guys can answer as well, is being a creative in a high like moving field. Like if you are a filmmaker or you make movies or productions, like I've done event planning a lot. There
Mhm.
is no such thing in the industry physically, right? There's no such thing as, even mentally, as taking a break. You're working 18-hour shifts, 18-hour set days. You know, they say you quit your 9 to 5 to pick up a 24-hour like
That's what
leave,
entrepreneurs is. It's 24
right?
hours.
Exactly. And what do you do? It's one of those things. It's what do you do when in the middle of a ever constant field where maybe you're in a position, a point in life where you're like, I can't stop. We ended one production, we have to get on to the next. There's deadlines to me. And people are experiencing burnout or getting close to that, let alone the economy that we're in, where you physically cannot stop. I mean, maybe this is not your season of slowing down. How does someone be able to combat burning out in the middle of
I
where
would,
you physically can't stop?
Can I can I
I
go?
would say, oh, go.
Okay. So with me and my production company, I literally says I'm not doing that back to back things. I already have all my films wrote out, scripts ready to go, but I'm not going to do that while I'm overworking myself. So I give myself a 3 months break when it comes to filming, even though I'm still not breaking because I'm still working behind the scenes getting ready for the next project. But doing table reads and all that stuff, like I'm not gonna go from one project to the next project. So I give myself a 3 months break. So my vision is every 3 months I come that fourth month, that's when I start filming for the next project. But within those 3 months, I'm doing all the behind the scene work, like getting the cast together, the team, the production team together, and my props and everything I need for the next film. So by the time table reads come, I have locations, everything already settled, and now we're just doing table reads, getting ready for the next film month. So that's how I do mine. So yes, I give myself breaks, but I don't give myself breaks, if you get what I'm saying.
And in your private
It's
time, I'll say is, because I love like, I also do things like that too. I always try to ask the questions that I know a lot of people are probably wondering, too. Um,
mhm.
Outside of work, how do you combat that burnout then in the middle of you doing your pre-production and your scheduling and like the woosah phase, but you're still kind of working, but it's like your limit's not too much for you.
Mhm.
Um, for somebody who what is it? I feel like I like to call it like the survivor's guilt of creatives, where like you have a day off and you feel like you're not doing enough
Oh my God, that's
and
so
you're not
true.
working.
Yeah.
How do you find coming through that challenge um of being like, wow, like I actually have a week off and everything is done and I'm getting more anxiety doing nothing, but that's your one chance to kind of like mellow out. Like, that's even something I
Exercise,
struggle with
yes.
sometimes.
I don't be working. I definitely don't be working around the clock. Like I come out of my office room at 5 o'clock. Like I literally shut down my laptop. I try not to have my business email on my phone so I won't be tempted to look at the emails. But girl, that don't help because I still go on the web browse and go in my
I'm sick of
email and I'm
y'all.
like,
I'm sick of
oh,
y'all.
I got all these people emailing me. I'm gonna have to respond. But I still just be like, "Ugh, I'll respond tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna get up. So I have to literally put my mind to where we're not doing this. You out of the office. Woosah.
Stop it.
But
Right.
child, I found myself promoting, doing some things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Okay.
I'm laying in bed, but my mind's still going business wise, and now I'm just promoting, but
That's
I'm not.
me.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
that
girl, yeah.
you
But
was
on the
right with
weekends, I definitely
creating
shut
your
down on the
structure.
weekends. I shut down on the weekends. I don't care. I don't check my
Right.
emails. I don't respond. No, nothing. They be emailing me or they'll message me on Facebook or something and be like, hey, I submit. I'll be like, I will look at it Monday. So yeah.
Hmm. Yes. No, that's real. Like I was gonna say, create that structure. I like how she has that structure, but create your boundaries too. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people will create the structure but leave out the boundaries. And then with you so used to going like this, you have your body, it adapts to that, right? But then, you have to figure out how to bring it back into normalcy because you will keep going like that. Like what you're saying, you will be like, man, let me just promote a little bit. Or like, say, oh, I ain't doing that. This is crazy. This is weird. Like, and it gets you like that. And I've been there. I'm telling you, I've been through all these stages, right? So I had to build a structure where, like what you're doing, right? But then I had to in place the boundaries. Then my boundaries didn't quite work because the way my body had kept going. So then my body would crash out. So that's why I do these events too, y'all. As another thing is I'm big on mentals because I'm trying to help. The event I just did was for entrepreneurs. I want y'all to prevent this burnout. I want you to take a minute to celebrate yourself. I want you to take a minute to understand that it won't happen without you, right? So you'll keep going, but you're going to have to take that moment. I don't care if you got to go on a vacation for 3 days, right? 2 days. Take it because that time I need you to connect with something else. Connect with the earth. Like me, I love water. I love the beach. I can't swim, chat, but I need to go somewhere else. Scenery wise, where my mind is going to shut down because it's not seeing my usual, right? It's not in that usual place. I need to take it to a whole nother place. And people be like, really? I have to go to another place. I have to go to another place, another scenery where I can connect back with just me and me alone. I took a whole vacation by myself, child. And I'm telling you, I spent the whole week and I slept and I needed it. And then I went on social media. I still went and just showed my face a second. But it was only for a second. Like, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give y'all the time that I'm taking for myself. So you're going to get to a point where you're going to be like that. But then you're going to be like, look, I'm gonna have to stop because your body gonna make you stop. Oh, it's coming. If it ain't hit you yet, you gonna shut down, and then it's gonna make you. So if we can't afford like interns, we need to all get interns, point blank, in a period. They do that for free. Okay. They will handle when you on break. Let's one invest in interns because that's something that they can learn from you. And that's that barter system I'm talking about. Trade that time off for yourself so somebody else can handle the things that can't necessarily stop going without you, right? So delegation is another thing. A third thing I would add into structure, boundaries, and delegation. Sometimes we have to learn how to trust somebody else to delegate what we need. So I would always suggest training someone to be you, right? I know they're doing that a lot with the AI. Cool. AI is doing it. Invest in it probably because it's going in a different realm. And I've been having to pivot off of that because I see where it's going. So even let them take the calls. Maybe the robot or another or intern. I don't care how you choose it, but delegate it off.
I was
You're
gonna
going to have to
also,
pass it off.
so I was also gonna say, because there is also an adrenaline hit. So it's not just a matter of, you may go into that email or whatever you're supposed to shut down but there's actually something chemistry wise happening in your body that's driving that as well. So it's not just in your head. And what I would say, which is the tough work, you got to find out, in order to be able to establish boundaries, you've got to find out where you're out of bounds in the first place.
True. Yeah.
What is causing me to take on more? Is it my self-worth? Is it really, and you cannot, you won't be able to do that until you stop. Make some space. You have to put the same value in your internal self as you do on the external. You just do. And it is the Lord didn't allow you to be here and think that you don't have the ability to be able to do what you need to do. He
Mhm.
gave you the talents, but he also gave you the strength to be able to bring the balance. And he always will provide ways to be able to partner so that you're able to get what you need so that you can accomplish
Mhm.
at top level. And you ladies know, have spoken, you never get far on your own. Nobody really,
Community.
nobody makes it successful on their own. But I would say, I would speak to, so that you can, if you're definitely younger than myself,
I'm closer
if
to
you
you. Yes, I ain't. He's supposed to be ancient, y'all.
but if you
Like
can,
you're feeling ancient.
yeah, if you can take the time, just like you guys plan your events, you take the time to plan out the ABC
For
pattern.
clarity.
You need to take, you did when you go to see the doctor, you have your test run so that you can get an idea of where you're at. You need to do that internally. It governs how you move forward. Not paying attention to that will cause you to do the cycles and things and just tear up your progress.
And you know what else I don't do? I don't force if my body's saying I ain't ready to get up, I don't force myself to get up. I be like, whatever it is I need to do, it'll wait. So I have learned not to force myself to get up. I'm sorry.
No, don't say I'm sorry. You ain't sorry because you don't have to be. Your body said, "Look, baby, we need to take that little break, right? Let
Hmm.
lay down for a second because I told you I wasn't doing that." And then I was like, "Lord, I gotta go to the grocery store. 'Cause I need stuff now I'm having this flare up, y'all. And I need to go get some stuff. So that's why I had to go get some more water. I drank specific water. Like I learned there's levels to everything. I didn't know it was levels to water. Like the more you try to learn stuff, child, the more things happen, the more you just learn. Like I'm tired of it. So I was like, let me go ahead and get me some grapes. Let me get some, some watermelon. Let me help me put some fluids back in. Like, because, we just did so much yesterday with the event. So it's
Yeah,
like, you have to take that moment. So I took that moment, y'all. I was supposed to volunteer at church. I was like, listen, y'all be all right. The volunteer. You know what I'm saying? This technically free. I love y'all, and I am trying to help the new pastor adjust. But it's like, I'll be all right. Somebody else, I know they showed up. They ain't show up. It can't be my problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just can't be.
yeah,
It's because you really gonna have to take that time to get that clarity along with getting your body that rest at the same time. Because it's a lot. And I still catch myself falling off that track, though. It's not gonna say that you just gonna get it right all together because it ain't happened like that for me. And I'm still like pivoting and I fall off and then I have to pivot back. And it's like it's a cycle because your body needs a new cycle now. It's been running on that other cycle so long, it's gonna fall out of line, sometimes if that makes sense. And you just want to try to get it back, like Miss Valencia said, because child, I'd be like, no. I quit. Like I be tired. So they be like, what you go? I'm tired. Because I had to learn how to say I'm tired. So now that I hear myself saying it out loud, it becomes real for me, right? Because I'll say it in my mind, but still be going and doing what I need to do. You got to show up and you got to show out. But now I'll be like, child, I'm tired. I'm not, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. I'm tired. I'm gonna hear myself say it. That way it kind of reinforces me to follow through. It kind of like I try to do little triggers, little things to try to trigger myself to get back in alignment with rest. Because I feel like I'm not in line if I keep going like this. My body, my mind, body, and spirit they're not aligned. I'm not in alignment if I keep overdoing it.
I got a
yeah.
Something
question.
just flew on my face, y'all. I'm outside.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
last year, for a whole year, I was burnt, like mentally burnt out. I didn't want to leave my house. Oh, nothing. Like I just recently started going out in public again. Thought I was gonna go on a walk path with nobody bothering me. And somebody came and somehow she messaged me, somebody that needed to know me though. Uh, I feel like I don't ever get time by myself ever. Never. And I'm going into this fourth feature film and I feel it. Oh, I feel it. When you're talking and you're sharing stuff, I was like, oh, I want to run away, but I can't run away. I have a lot of responsibilities and I wish I could delegate to someone, but they just don't. It's just more work for me. So it's very hard because so many people put money, time, they took off for their job, their families to be part of this film. And it's exhausting. It's the most exhausting thing I've ever experienced in my life out of anything I've ever endured with whatever I went through. This showbiz is more than I've ever it just takes and takes and takes, and the boundaries, no matter what I try. freaking work. I am eating healthier though.
I'm going into 3 years off now. I'm telling you, I'm going into 3 years off. I just had to retire, child, because it took me like that. Like I got to that point where it wasn't fun anymore. It became exhausting, and then I had this hole in my leg, so then I was limited. But I did go into like what I would call a bad stage because I did not want to leave my house, and I did get into the point where, child, I'm tired, but I became really tired. Like my great grandma would say, "Be look, when you're sick, get in the bed for a little bit, but get back up," because she made it to 102, and my aunt is 104 today. Like they won't stay in the bed, but they will take that rest. They will take this time to go a different place in their minds, like get that clarity, because it's so much needed. But I really did say I retired, and I ain't came back yet. But I also got into the bad stage where I think I'm depressed, right? And I was depressed. And I kept saying I think, and I was. So it's like I had to come in self-realization. And then I had to start pushing myself back out too, right? But I did little things. So even these events are just different. Me pivoting, I think I pivoted and I'm focusing more on my nonprofit now because every time I tried to, working for other people would take that away. Working for their dreams and their everything, their profit margins instead of my own, it would take away. I'm increasing everybody else's but mine. And it took me that break to realize that. Not, I would say, not like right at the depression state. It kind of like gave me that, but then it kind of pushed me into depression because now I'm not in the light that I was in, I'm not where people are needing me, but they always needed me, so I had to readjust. Like I had to go through those motions too and try to readjust that. I don't need to be needed all the time because I had to get to that point where health is the real wealth and not helping these people and everybody signs up for something, right? And they know what they're going into when they do it. I used to have to be a team lead. I don't want you coming on here talking about, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do this. Yes, it is. Yeah, it was in writing. You read it and you signed it. So I can't take responsibility for somebody else's actions and decisions too. So I had to also kind of go into that because I would be that person. Like I said, I'm Southern. So I'd be like, oh Lord, these people came, let me give them a good show. And I went into that and it just took so much out of me.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of where I kind of was like, y'all know what, I'm retired. I'm kind of just gonna take a break from it. And I end up pivoting into trying to go more into something else, right? Pivoting is not always going back to the same thing or like hiding in it. You learn something new in the same industry or something. I just went the other way type of thing because that's what my mind and body and spirit led me to. And it's been more calming and things I find just happening. Like I need the money, right? And it's just little opportunities have just been presenting itself weirdly. So I want a grant. I'm working at somebody's tax office and yet I still can do, what I need to do. And it's not taking all of me anymore. And I'm not helping just them. I'm also helping me now too, because I'm really trying to help other people. And now it's on a larger scale. It's not just within this movie, but people use movies to you know what I'm saying, speak to bigger audience because that's like the biggest way you can. And that's how I was thinking too with my acting and everything. And I love that because I would write too, like, but I would say you will have to get to you because you're gonna have to. So you won't feel like
I was trying to leave showbiz. I was trying to move to Florida. I was like, I am done. I am leaving. I am Vegas trapped. And the more I tried, like,
right.
like some forces unknown. I'm okay now, I think. Forces unknown, like, stop
Drag
me
you back.
from leaving. And I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I don't know yet. I get cracked up at times. I'm just like, oh,
Community. Call
alone.
your community. That's
Call.
what you do.
I would say that too. And then also, can you all commit to at least one day out of the week where you commit to yourself?
Oh, that's
Why
the thing.
both go scratching head and I don't know.
No, I'm not
LaBrea
ready
one of the people
to. I have
too. I'm
too
trying to
much.
put her out
I have
there.
a family. My family got to deal with, and this film thing too. We have right now 140 people cast in it. It's not.
Wow.
I mean, it was like 10 people, probably. And then I had people pulling at me, messaging me nonstop. And I had a friend that killed himself, Robert Carradine from The Revenge of the Nerds. He was in our film.
No, I was so sad
And
when I saw that. I was supposed to
well,
do a show
no,
about it, but I took a break.
well, I mean, he's really nice. He'll be missed. But he killed himself, and then had 2 days before that got his body killed himself. I had a friend in Canada that was like posting that he was going to kill himself. So I was trying to call the police in Canada, and I was like, I don't know where he lives. He wasn't even there. He was in a hotel. They saved him, and then I dealt with somebody that was like weird stalking, and this is another level. Usually if someone has a picture of you, fine. This guy was talking about me obsessively on his YouTube for 6 hours straight. One for 3 hours, another video for 3 hours. So this showbiz is a little bit more than
Yeah.
just doing the responsibility. There's a lot of dangers, and there's a lot of people that try to get close to you because they want to get either close to the opportunities that they want, or the people that you know. So there's a whole different layers of
It is. It's levels.
Let me clear,
It's
let me
levels.
clarify. Let me clarify. Okay, so I'm looking at all my children are grown. So I do remember having four kids. And them being, under 10. So I remember that. What I would say is maybe you can't do it. You owe it to yourself. It does show a measure of love to set aside time for yourself. If you can't do that, you need to find out what it is that's causing you to not make room for you. There's a belief, there is what I call a personal constitution that you say to yourself, that drives your decisions. These decisions don't just come out of the blue. They don't. They're things
It's,
the decisions that you don't make, you're making a decision.
learn
Yeah.
how to say no. That's what
no,
people
that's
do that.
real. That's so real.
Yeah.
And that's and that is and what I would say to you, to each of us, when we things like I can't say no, I say yes, and I meant to say no. um I feel bad if I've got to sit down for a hot minute just to sit down. Those are things that are rooted into things, childhood, and
Traumas.
it drives our decisions. And it now we do look at things and we're going, okay, yeah, you're a go-getter. But like I said, our bodies are designed for truth. So if we are being driven by traumas, unresolved matters that we cover with good stuff, productive stuff, our body's going to be like, all right. So that's just my
Good.
admonition. Maybe you can't take it. Find something. If you can't find out why you can't.
I'm sitting right now, so that's
We proud of you, baby, because you here and you
no,
been
but it's
talking. Hmm, you
but
here.
I'm sitting. I mean, I am sitting, which is really relaxing. I'm trying not to be like too like what's wrong with her? I'm drinking my what's that? That apple cider vinegar.
Stuff.
That's
Come
what
on,
I'm
baby. Get
drinking
it
that with
together. Get it
honey.
together.
Not, being healthy, I'm detoxing from goodies and comfort, and
Right.
but the responsibility that I have, it is a lot, and no one kind of really shares. I mean, once in a while, the hard areas in this showbiz, and you do get taken advantage, or weird things happen, and I just got
Yes.
bamboozled. And I didn't see it happening because I was like, no way would the people, it was just such a
That's
no.
what happened to me earlier. That's why I say entertainment. That's why I said at the beginning when I first finally started talking. My bad, y'all. Took a minute, but when I said entertainment, and I've been on all ends. I'm talking about acting, the music, all ends. It's not a pleasant business because you are a creative. You're drawn to it. But I'm telling you now, is not. I mean, look how Taraji P's come out, and even in her career and where she's been, complaining about the pay. And it's like you got to think about that level. Once you got there, you thought she got there, right? It's still something. It's always something. And the mental is the first thing to be attacked. It is the first thing.
I always tell
And so
people,
that's why I was down at the Capitol. Go, yes, ma'am.
oh no, I was just gonna piggyback off everyone to summarize because it sounds like we're all busy. You're always on to the next project, and it's kind of hard to find that time for yourself.
Yeah.
I always tell people when you sit down, even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it can be five, every hour you take out 5 minutes. that adds up right throughout the day. Sit down and think about absolutely nothing. We call it the tapping method, where you close your
How
eyes.
we do that?
You you close your eye. You first of all, you sit in a chair, your back straight up, feet touch the ground. You want to be as comfortable as possible. Relax your body. You close your eyes and you go to your happy place. If that's at a beach, if that's at a park, if that's in the mountains, if that's in your bedroom, in the bathroom. Some people love to hear water. Wherever your happy place is, you close your eyes and you think about the happy place. And then you start to realize and mentally think about your feet touching the ground. You touch your thighs, you touch your stomach, you touch your shoulders, you touch your cheeks, you touch every part of your body, and you start from the bottom up because what you're also doing is grounding yourself, bring yourself back to real
Yeah.
at the same time. While you're in your happy space and you've zoned out and you've calmed yourself down for just 5 minutes. And if you're doing that every hour, it keeps you calm throughout the day because sometimes your day can be very overwhelming, especially if you're a parent or a single
Oh, I
parent.
like that.
You have jobs, you have your own business, and sometimes you work a 9 to 5 in a business. You're juggling so much, you can't find time for self. But if you take those 5 minutes once an hour every day, that adds up to keep you calm and make it through that day.
I
Something.
like
I'm already saying and testifying right now while y'all on here that when y'all hang up from y'all, I ain't getting on the phone no more today. I'm tired of That's it. That's it. I'm putting the phone down. I ain't gonna check these emails, enough 5 pages. I'm not doing that. I know it's been going on. I started out really good today and I'm gonna go through with it. I am because
period.
it's
And
got to be that time because I don't want to be, I want to be rattled. I don't want to be that. It's not even a nice feeling for me. I'm gonna start sneaking chamomile in my own stuff. Find me a different type of tea. Because it's to the point. Give me the creatine and give me something. Because in a minute, you will get back to that stage in your time. Well, I would say you will produce a new stage.
Mhm.
You will go into a new season just because you changed in how calm your body now is.
Yeah.
Cause like I told y'all, I'm still transitioning now. I be pivoting, baby. I mean, rocking the boat. I'm trying to pivot away from it, but I'm still rocking the boat because people still drawing me back in. I told you they made me do that photo shoot. They taught me into that. I was doing good. I was like, oh man, I miss it now. Maybe I need to do another. No, Kendra, stop it. Like you might have had a moments with yourself. You ain't crazy if you answered yourself. I don't care what nobody say. And I've had a happy place of my bathroom where I used to just like go off music, and it kind of helped me remember stuff too, like lines or just get into character where I would act out songs. I think that's how people kind of like me from Kendra 100 Days. And I'll rap out the song or sing out the song, just doing anything. And then I'll be fashionable, right? That was another thing for me before TikTok was a TikTok. And that was my thing, right? That was my calming. But now it became work because they start paying me. So I don't want to do it no more. And you equate that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna answer the phone no more.
That's great. So, as we start wrapping up today, I just want to thank everybody for being here, sharing your gems, dropping all of the knowledge from the beginning stages until the middle, the pivoting, how to pivot, what that means from the mental health piece, because that's things that everybody needs to take apart in order to pivot out or to branch when modeling or in the industry and not let it take over self.
Let's stay in touch too. Sorry.
And before we go, this is your time. I want everyone to reintroduce yourself, say your name, where are you from, how can people get in touch with you? What's your social medias, your website, your phone number, any projects you may have coming up? Are you looking for people to be in your projects? This is your moment to shine. Just like in the beginning, just jump in and chime in like a popcorn.
Oh, oh, I was finna go first. Just
Go
because me
ahead.
and Labrina are working on a new, me and Labrina, y'all, it's Women's History Month. Boom, bam, boom. This month, boom, March 1st. Okay, we have an event coming up where we're educating people about their health, fibroids in particular. We gonna be going hard on the promotion because we try to go hard on this one. We kind of pivoted back a little bit on it, but she's been picking up where I slacked off. Come out. if y'all can, take a moment to celebrate yourself, educate yourself, and your body. Get your body together. I want to say that I am Kendra. You can find me on Kendra 100, Beautifully Ill Teens. I did put all of that in that little, and what you say this is a chat, okay? And copy paste that thing. I did screenshots and stuff. So that's how y'all can get in touch with us. Her too.
Yeah. I'm Toy Blackman. Yes, I am looking for a cast for Granny's Block episode 2. We go in production in May and we are shooting in Belgrade, Florida. You can follow me at Toy Blackman on Facebook and then Successful Toy Production on TikTok and Instagram.
Wait,
And
say it
then
again. Successful. Why? Look what I'm trying to do it now. I'm so old.
Successful Toy Production on Instagram and on TikTok.
Okay.
And make sure y'all check out Granny's Block on RM Entertainment. You could download the app on your TV and it's under comedy and laughs.
and then I'm Kiana Summers again. Um, you guys can find me on my Instagram. My personal Instagram is kiana.summers, KEIANNA .SUMMERS. I'm actually working right now for a few different brands, especially in the restaurant field, since I help people rebrand and scale themselves from 0 to 100. And I don't like to talk game, but I am like big dog when it comes to speed. I can do that in like 30, 60 days. Um, and as well as a personal passion project that I'm working on right now. It's called Smile Theory. I'm actually looking for crew currently in Atlanta. I'm doing something called Smile Theory that really is just honing on how smiling is one of the most complex human expressions that we have. And I want to know the stories deeper behind the smile of the people that we see day to day and the strangers that we meet. I guess my references you can think of like Soft White Underbelly, Vice, BBC News. It's going to be documentary style. I start filming March 14th. So it's definitely going to be an ongoing process over the next few months, very organic, very on the spot interviews. So yeah, that page is not up and running yet, but it will be. So everything on my personal page you'll be able to see as well.
I guess
Oh, and wait, you can sorry about that. And you can also any casting calls, you can go to www.successfultoyproduction.com. All the casting calls are listed on the website.
thank you so much. Just if you want to message me on that, I can share it on some of my platforms that I let other opportunities for other actors that want to be involved and connect other people and be part of their production. It's like with Nicole Butler Vegas, now 5 years into showbiz. I'm not running away obviously this year, maybe next if I'm allowed. But I'm working on my fourth feature film, Lost Media, that we're filming here in Vegas, April 17th to the 30th. Skate to Hell. It's horror comedy. But if you don't like scary and spoofy like 80s cheesy practical effects back in the day, we have Skate to Hell coming out March 3rd. We're in just out of almost post-production for Desert Fiends 2. I will be in Orlando at the MegaCon supporting the indie horror junkie film community. There's a lot of people. I'm starting to branch out a little bit more, and I want to say thank you for having this so I can connect to others and hopefully connect them to the resources that I know that can help them with whatever they're doing and their support that's needed in their area. Just want to say thank you. Hopefully I'll get my break, like not mental break, like good break in showbiz.
Indeed. And I'm Garlena Davis, and I've had to pivot. And so what I'm doing now is kind of what I've been doing all along and offering coaching help, especially when you're in the heat of the fire. And having walked through that growing up, just the many things that I've been involved with. I'm a child of two preacher parents and know that avenue and all that you go through with all of that. And then also I've been an admin for over 30 years. So what I'm doing now is taking what I've learned and applying AI to help businesses implement what they need. Some of those mundane and very task heavy things that, happen in your business, finding the vehicles and technology so that we can put that with your business, so that that'll be like your VA. And you're not having to spend thousands of dollars. Or if you're doing it yourself, you can at least take that off of your mental plate so that you can, produce more of what you need to produce and not be taxed with everything. I can be found on Instagram. I'm actually rebooting, so you know how that is. So my socials, Instagram, YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I don't hardly put anything on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. Um, I think I'm just starting TikTok, but you'll see most of my material, and I usually put my focus has been on definitely those that have dealt with childhood trauma, um, even sexual abuse, because that kind of stuff, it seeps through whatever you're dealing with, and just kind of manifests and mess up wherever you're trying to head to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's so nice to meet you ladies. It's been great.
Valencia, we love meeting you too. I think you and her movement have that in common too. I'm just gonna shoot that out. I shoot out commonalities with the youth and the troubled youth. Just saying.
Kendra, what's your Instagram?
Um, Let me see. We can go to Kendra 100. That's like all the entertainment crap. But my nonprofit is Beautifully Ill Teens. It's like an underscore after each word, minus the teens. And I put it in the chat earlier, but I'm finna put it right there now.
Yeah, please.
So that way. 'Cause girl, it was like a whole thing. I'm sorry, I'm like this.
All right.
Somebody came outside trying to attack me.
And this is her movement, partnered with Beautiful Ill as well for this program today that everyone's involved in. We're also having our event come up in March 27th. That one will be in person in Atlanta, Georgia. So anyone in the area want to come and support, feel free. Anyone who wants to be a sponsor, feel free. The proceeds are going towards the youth department and also to one individual who is battling with mental and physical illness when it comes to fibroids. We do have a doctor who will be there speaking about fibroids. We have several guest speakers who will be there talking about business because it's all of surrounding funding over business while facing life in general. So we have an event virtual once a month, every month. So tune in on hermovement63.org to find more information about those events. As you see, we talk about models, we talk about mental health, we talk about health, physical health. We
Just everything, child. I don't been on some of them. I'm just gonna attest that I've been on some. I've tried to join some, so I got to get myself together too, because it's hard navigating. It's like that.
Especially with our Black-owned business conference that's virtual, I would say everyone try to come there and support. We've had a celebrity therapist who came and support. I thought, hey, maybe she won't have time, but she was there as well. So you never know who's
Amazing.
will be in those rooms. Just like today, Nicole, I just found her out of the blue about a year ago. And she's very generous. You can talk to her, have a real conversation. And I promise you, I don't know her that well, but she will give you an honest answer. Whether you like it or not, it will be
Don't ask then. Don't
honest.
ask. But I have I'm gonna connect you. I want to share your link for your YouTube on these other podcasts so people know that they can connect you, that you care, and there's other people that are just every woman here today was just really brilliant with just their passion, their purpose, and anything that they've struggled with to give their experience for others to help because I'm telling you, it's not easy being, especially in that showbiz. Each one just you just shared with me
On camera.
the struggle with it. So it's hard. I haven't had anybody try to take advantage yet though. You'll see Facebook Live. I will smack a fool. No casting couch for me. I swear to it will not be good. So but on that note and stuff like that, just let me know who I can connect you with. I know you're looking for talent stuff, and I know always producers help. I know a lot of producers, small investors. I don't have the big stuff yet. If ever, who knows? I have to get past this year first, day by day. Um, But I like the podcast that I know for people is directly geared towards always healing and working and different approaches, different angles. And the best advice I can give is when you do have to deal with something, always have a paper trail. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all for us tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm pretty sure this is not our last time meeting. So y'all have a good day.
You too. Thank you.